This short story is called A Martian Odyssey. It is a science fiction classic written by Stanley G. Weinbaum, originally published in the July 1934 issue of Wonder Stories. The whole story is based on a conversation between Dick Jarvis, the chemist of the famous crew, the Ares expedition, and his teammates. The story happens in the early 21st century when human beings first set foot on Mars. It has a small mistake here because it is early 21st century now, but we don't actually set foot on Mars. The astronauts in the story are from America, so the culture setting is American culture. Dick Jarvis's auxiliary rocket gives out 800 miles away from his teammates. He chooses to walk back himself rather than staying there and waiting for help, which is the beginning of his adventure. The story follows the basic three-act structure. Jarvis sees a Martian creature squealing and being eaten by something looks like a bunch of black rocket arms. He helps the creature out. This is the incident of the first act setup. After some introduction with gestures, Jarvis and Phil know each other's name. Phil has something between a beak and a trunk, and a few feathery appendages, a little rounded body, and a long neck ending in a tiny head. The turning point is that Phil is very intelligent and learns some English words and wants to help Jarvis back to his destination, where they see a strange creature made of silica and produces bricks. The worsening situation of the second act confrontation starts when Phil and Jarvis approach a canal. Phil saves Jarvis's life from a dream beast, which is similar to that who almost eats Phil. As they get to a city on the canal bank, they are passed by a barrel-like creature. They become lost in a network of tunnels, and hours or days pass before they find themselves in a domed chamber near the surface. They cannot go out, and it is the need help part of confrontation. They are suddenly attacked by those cursed creatures. Phil doesn't escape for his life but accompanies with Jarvis. They are in great danger, which is the climax of the third act resolution. Just at the emergency moment, Jarvis's teammate comes and saves him, and Phil bounds away into the Martian horizon. Jarvis tells the story to his teammates and shows them the crystal he gets. This is the reward part of resolution. The story's science fiction genre is godlike aliens and hard science fiction. Phil helps Jarvis out of difficulties faithfully, and there is also science knowledge in the story. For example, humans and Phil are carbon life, but one of the creatures Jarvis sees on Mars lives by a different set of chemical reactions, and it's silicon life. The whole story is a frame story, with Jarvis telling the story to his teammates. The advantage of this form is that Jarvis can describe his experiences and express the feelings he feels. At the same time, questions from his friends also pull the process of the story, so that it won't be too boring to read. The quality of language is pretty good, because it involves oral language like air you breathe, which is easy to understand and attractive. The dialogue is easy to follow, because the questions lead the story's process. Both free will and determinism can be seen in the story. Jarvis chooses to go back himself and takes the crystal at last. Phil decides to help Jarvis. All of this can reflect free will. Jarvis's desire for life can also reflect the age of human nature. The people in the crew are in justice ages to contribute themselves to explore for people and science. Jarvis as a chemist can be professor or dean in academics. No obvious religion can be seen in the story. Jarvis and Phil form a group. They have storming at first because of difficulties in communication, but later on they become good friends and escape from death and form a good group relationship. The story doesn't talk much on human development. I think Jarvis may believe Epicureanism because he wants to have good relationship with Mars nature and tries to apply his knowledge to explain the phenomenon. He obeys these cast rules and maxims because he believes what he sees, and does things in a certain order after learning about them. For example, he saves Phil after observation and communicates with him before traveling together. The main two characters are the Everyman and Alien. Jarvis is an ordinary astronaut who is not very far away from our life, and Twill is a friendly alien. The characters are very effective because Jarvis is similar to readers to make them feel familiar, while Twill can give readers a beautiful picture and imagination about aliens. The story doesn't talk too much about technology, just describing the gun Twill uses with steam and the technology of rockets. It uses show-don't-tell literary, with lots of description of Twill and other Martian creatures. It also uses imagery, like it sputtered and flared like an old arc light. These uses of literary style can make the story more attractive, and it works. Overall, it is a successful science fiction that involves humanity and friendship between human and alien during an 800-mile journey. People have been encouraged to explore outside world because of inspiring science fiction like A Martian Odyssey.